of every element of Sanatana Dharma that is of importance to us, whether it's philosophy or practice or culture or kirtan or reading or literally any aspect that we can think about, yoga, etc. Which is the most important of all aspects that we do as individuals? Which is the most important thing of all of these? Yes, yoga and sadhana, that is actual practice. Actual practice, actual, in fact, meditation. Because as people know, yes, yoga is the right answer, but what is yoga? Yoga is meditation. So the truth of the matter is, it's our sadhana. It's the actual practice that means more than anything. Philosophy is important, and in fact, philosophy always has to be first. Philosophy always has to be the first thing that we do, because how can we do if we don't know why we're doing, if we don't know what we're doing? Thus, we begin certainly with philosophy. We begin with knowing everything, knowing the goal, because why would you work very hard toward a goal if you don't even know the goal? Thus, for individuals in the New Age community, if you can call it a community, who say, oh, the journey is everything. No, the journey is not everything if you don't have a goal. Then what you're being is an automaton. You're doing and doing and doing, but you don't know why. You're doing and doing and doing, but you don't know what the goal is. So that doing and doing will very quickly stop. That's why if you don't have this undergirding of philosophy to know why you're doing what you're doing, you won't do. Thus, this is why we find individuals who, without that philosophical undergirding, they don't practice. They may talk, they may speak a lot, but they don't actually practice. So philosophy is important, but of everything involved, once we have tasted every individual aspect of Sanatana Dharma, again, philosophy, culture, etc., then ultimately, what is the essence of it all? What is the thing of greatest importance is actual practice. So much so that it is actually better for an individual to live in a cave and practice than be in public and be a so-called philosopher without practice. Because as a so-called philosopher without actually practicing, they're lying. They're harming themselves, and they are most certainly harming those individuals who they are philosophizing at. Not with, not toward, but they are philosophizing at people. And they're harming those people because they're not speaking from realization. They are speaking from ideas I picked up on YouTube today. Back in the past, I would say they're espousing ideas that they picked up in books, but people don't read books anymore. They get their ideas on YouTube and Facebook blurbs. This is why practice is everything. It is better to be an individual practicing deeply, steeped in practice, and living in a cave and speaking to no one, than to be an individual who is claiming to be a philosopher in the world, but not practicing. And this is the other reason why. While it may seem somewhat isolationist, the truth of the matter is, if you practice, you will come to the point where you will be a true philosopher. So this is why practice is of such great importance. This is why we have to steep ourselves in meditation. For those individuals, to give an immediate example, who consider themselves to be my students, I'm often very humbled and very appreciative that you enjoy my words. But my words are based on many years of practice. Many, many years. Without which my words would be powerless. They literally would have no Shakti to them. So this is why this is of great importance, that we have to practice. We have to prepare ourselves to know ourselves. We have to prepare ourselves to perfect ourselves. And there's that terrible word that is anathema today, in our day and age, where there is an excuse for everything, and we give ourselves excuses for everything. We must prepare ourselves to become perfect. And the reason why is because the world around us, the living beings around us, those sentient beings who are in suffering right now, deserve nothing less from us. How's that for motivation to become perfect? Because those beings around us who need us deserve nothing less from us. Our family deserves nothing less from us. Our friends, the people we meet, deserve nothing less from us. If we speak and we speak and we speak, but we ourselves are coming from a level of tremendous imperfection, we're only harming them. Thus, let us become perfect. And of course, for those people who understand what I mean by perfect, I don't mean supermen and superwomen. That's not perfection. We're not talking quantity. We're talking about quality. We're talking about within. Become the sort of person who, when people meet you, they are happier. When people meet you, they leave a conversation with you wiser. When people encounter you, they may not even understand the concept of Dharma directly, but inwardly, intuitively, they feel as if they have now encountered a personification of Dharma. That's what's meant by perfection. And the only way that we do this is through deep meditation. Trust me, I think everyone here has seen my library downstairs. That's my library, I own it. Those are my books. Reading a lot of books is not going to make you the sort of person who can change someone's heart, who can help a person to stop suffering, who can help a person to understand joy, who can save a human being. Reading a lot of books alone won't do it. Not dissuading you from reading a lot of books. Please read a lot of books too. Again, I've read a lot of books in my life. Read a lot of books. Learn everything that you can about yourself, about this world. Learn how the world functions on the surface level, but more importantly, not just that tip of the iceberg that you see. Learn how this world functions underneath. See the actual iceberg that is there under the water. Understand perfectly how this world works. Incorporate all this knowledge into yourself. Infuse it with Dharma. Infuse that knowledge with Dharma. Otherwise, the knowledge itself is worthless. And then, once you've done this, then change the world. Then reach out to others. Then try to help other people. And even then, be very selective in who you help. You see, this is an interesting thing that unfortunately almost no one will say today, because almost no one out there who calls themselves a spiritual leader, a spiritual teacher, a guru, a swami, and anything, almost none of them are real. But I will tell you this, not everyone is worthy of your help. Seek those who are. Anyone here who has been alive for more than 10 years upon this earth knows that. Not everyone is worthy of your help. Not everyone is equal. Not everyone is equally sincere. Not everyone is equally good. Don't waste your time. Look for those individuals who, when you help them, they themselves will become transformed and help others. Those are the people you help. Don't waste your time with the others. Don't waste your time with other people who you'll reach out, try to help them. They couldn't care less. They have no gratitude. Maybe you help them, you boost them up a little bit, and they go in a different direction. They start harming people because now they have a little bit of self-confidence. You've actually created what? A Frankenstein monster. See, there's a lot to learn from that book. You can be a brilliant scientist and create something that will destroy the world because you thought you were doing something good. Seek those few, and they are few, individuals who are worthy of your help, who, when you help them, you will have created something wonderful. You will have created a person who will replicate what you are, and who, like you, will personify Dharma in their life. So these are the people we are to seek especially. We're only alive for a certain period of time. It's interesting, I was commenting to someone the other day actually, that in the Kali Yuga, according to the scriptures, we're supposed to live for 100 years. How many people even live to be 100 years? That's the Kali Yuga. We're supposed to live to be 100. That's kind of the standard. Most people don't even meet the standard. You know, often not due to any fault of their own. Pollution, bad food, etc. Just pollutants everywhere and everything that we eat, drink, breathe in, etc. But still, 100 years, that's nothing. That's nothing. 100 years ago, there were airplanes, there were cars, etc. It's not an infinite amount of time ago. 100 years goes like that. Let's say we live for 100 years. That time is short. Thus, make the best use of every second you have. There's that saying, we only live once. Of course, that's not true. We believe in reincarnation. So we know that we live multiple times, multiple lifetimes. Most of us don't remember our past lives. Some do. But we live for multiple lives. But in a way, that saying is right. Right now, we have this lifetime. Make the most of it. Make the most of it. Through sadhana, through practice, through meditation, of all things, even more so than education. Some of us here are very educated people. All of us here are smart. All of us here are intelligent. But not merely through education, not merely through book learning, not merely through philosophy, not merely through good administrative and managerial ability, not merely through hard work and the passionate fire in our soul. See, a lot of people have these things and they don't really do what is necessary to truly save people and help people and deliver people from suffering. But what do we have? That goes to the core root of everything. It's meditation, meditation, meditation. It's in doing the very opposite of what everything in this world tells us to do. Everything in this world drags us outside of ourselves. Everything in this world attracts us, tries to attract us. Like, those of us who are from New York City, we know Times Square. You go to Times Square and you just stand there and you look around, there are hundreds of the most insane billboards trying to attract you with lights, with colors, with moving images, with all kinds of weird things going on. That's the nature of this world. Everything tries to suck us out, out, out. Do that which is different. Do that which is opposite of what everyone else is doing. Most people allow themselves to be sucked out. Do that which is harder. Go inside. Always remember the great people of the past. And not just spiritual people, but many other people who even did big things in this material world. Great philosophers and thinkers, people who were great leaders of nations. Most of them, at some point in their life, they went within. They first knew themselves. They first built up themselves. And then they did what they did to become people who changed history. The people who live 100% externally don't change history because they don't even know themselves. If you don't know yourself, how can you do anything, really? So this is why meditation is everything.